Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron. Welcome back to my holiday 2019 box office predictions. And yes, we are still in the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And I already covered how the Thanksgiving holiday box office worked in my Knives Out video, and I don't feel like going over it again. So if you're curious on how the Thanksgiving box office works, go watch the Knives Out video. Because right now, we're talking about Queen and Slim. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of Queen and Slim. So let's just jump right into it. Pros. One of our main actors here, Daniel Kaluuya. You may recognize him from several small movies like Get Out and Black Panther. Little movies that nobody watched. I'm kidding, okay? Of course I'm kidding. A lot of people saw Get Out, and a whole bunch of people saw Black Panther, obviously. And, those movies gave him a lot of exposure. People now recognize his face, they recognize his name. So it's definitely a positive to have a recognizable actor in a movie. So that's obviously a pro. Next pro are the reviews. Now, reviews, they're not the most reliable thing when it comes to how a movie will do, because sometimes a movie can have amazing reviews yet still bomb. And then there's times where a movie has awful reviews and does really well. And then there are just movies that are just all over the place. But more often than not, it's more beneficial to have good reviews than bad reviews. I think we can all agree on that. And this movie has very solid reviews. They're not amazing, but they're still really good. And that will definitely help this movie. So that's another pro. Third pro, I do believe this movie can appeal to the African American community. I mean, they showed up to see Harriet, so theoretically, if they show up to see Harriet, they'll likely see this too, because I think this can greatly appeal to the African American community. Because if you give them something, if you give them something that looks really appealing, they'll show up. And that's the same with a lot of audiences, like older audiences, women, men, any audience. If you give them a movie that they want, they'll watch it. Simple as that. So that's the third pro. And that's pretty much it when it comes to pros. So cons. This movie has no real publicity. I've seen a YouTube ad here and there, but nowhere near as many as Knives Out or several movies that came out in the past few weeks. So, that's a problem, because you need at least some level of publicity in order to open a movie well. If you have none, yeah, that's not good. So that's the first con. Second con is the marketplace itself. Now, obviously, Frozen 2 is not going to be a problem, because if I were to make a Venn diagram of like Frozen 2, the Frozen 2's audience and Queen and Slim's audience, the two circles would be in completely separate buildings. Like, they wouldn't connect at all. So Frozen 2 is not a problem. What is a problem is the adult market, which includes Ford v Ferrari and Knives Out. And I'm going to use Knives Out because that's the movie opening the same day as this. Thing is with Knives Out is that its marketing has been a lot more aggressive, and the movie itself looks a lot more broadly appealing than this. So that's a definite con for this movie. And the third con is the subject matter of this movie. Because if you've seen the trailers, you know what the plot is. Actually, I have a summary here. And I'm going to read this, at least some of it. While on a forgettable first date together in Ohio, a black man and a black woman are pulled over for a minor traffic infraction. Situation escalates with sudden and tragic results when the man kills the police officer in self-defense. Oh, did I mention the police officer was white? It's kind of important. And so after that, they they go on the run, and it's basically a black version of Bonnie and Clyde. And I swear, if someone's like, "Oh, that sounds racist, that sounds offensive," that's what they say. That's how they describe it. I didn't come up with it. That's how the movie described it. So don't blame me. All right. It's just like the subject matter of like, oh, police are bad, police are racist. That thing. I think we've seen enough of that in the news today. I don't think too many people are going to be willing to watch that in movie form. Actually, in one of the trailers, I looked through the comments, and there was like this one comment that I thought really stuck out to me, and I thought was pretty accurate. And this one person was like, why do like a lot of black movies nowadays? Why do they all have to deal with racism? I'm just like, yeah, that's a good point, because I've noticed like a decent amount of black movies, they're all about some level of racism, whether in the slavery years, the civil rights years, or they have like a social commentary overtone or undertone. A lot of them deal with race, and I'm just like, why? I mean, we all know racism is bad. I mean, we all know that. It's common knowledge at this point. And sometimes people want to escape from that because it just reminds them too much of the real world. No one likes the real world. Why do you think people go to the movies? People go to the movies to escape the real world, not be reminded of it. So, yeah, that could also hurt Queen Slim. So, overall, I have to do 3 day, then 5 day, then overall 3 day. I'm going to say, maybe it can do well and get 10 million on the 3 day, but I don't think so. Probably like 8 million for the 3 day, and about, okay, I'm gonna be a little higher. 9 million for the 3 day, and about 15 or so million for the 5 day. That's my official prediction for that. Overall, it might reach 30 to 40 million, so it's really just not gonna make that much money. And yeah, that's Queen Slim. So we're done with November, thank God. And now we gotta go to December, where it's the post Thanksgiving weekend, which is usually a terrible time. And this year is no exception. Got two movies to cover that weekend. You got The Aeronauts. I have no idea what that is. But the real movie I want to talk about, Playmobil. That's going to be great. And then the week after that, there's Black Christmas, Jumanji Next Level, Richard Jewell. And then uh, December 20th, Cats. That's going to be fun too. Rise of Skywalker. That's also going to be fun. Bombshell and Little Women, Spies in Disguise, and that's the end of 2019. That's it, and then we're on 2020. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. You want to go check out my other playlist. I've done Holiday 2019, Fall 2019, Summer 2019. Done some box office recaps of certain months. Still gotta do a recap of November. And yeah, that's it. That's all. And I am out.